Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I have returned and mostly recovered from BrickCon 2021, which was held up in Seattle. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to make a video about it, show all the stuff, talk about the things that I did. I went as a builder for the first time. I've gone previously as just general public going to look at all the stuff, but this time I went as an attendee. I stayed with Sergeant Deplorable and Able Crewman Rocket up at their place, because they're like a half hour from the venue, which was lovely. And Sergeant Deplorable and I built a collaborative build. Now, this was the 20th year of BrickCon, so their theme was 2 BrickCon decades, TBD. So everything was supposed to have TBD involved in it, somehow, somewhere, whether it made sense or not. And so ours, since we were doing a Napoleonic-era brick naval battle, we decided to go with Trafalgar Brick Duel, though later I realized Trafalgar Battle Diorama would have probably sounded a little bit better, but that was our TBD. We had my red fleet and my 2 blue ships against Sergeant Deplorable's blue fleet, which were well balanced, but there wasn't room to set it up the way we really would have liked to set it up, which would have been in actual lines. If we'd set it up that way in the space we were given, one of the fleets would have been completely blocking the other fleet, which just wouldn't have looked as good, we felt. We will see about getting a special space to be able to set that up properly in the future, but who knows. So we ended up doing 3 distinct battles, and I think I've got footage of it. Let's see. Here we have Sergeant Deplorable intrepidly tying sails the day of the event on the table as the clock winds down.
Public day is tomorrow. I still have till 11 o'clock tonight. I'm not going to tell you what time it is.
Here we have our setup. We have the 274s going at it. Sergeant Deplorable's 232 frigates against my 64-gun ship of the line. Very much not a fair fight. And then we have my 236s versus my 44 and my 2 14-gun brigs. That actually is a fairly fair fight. That one would be interesting. But yeah, it still looked really, really cool. We had the little cannon effect, so it looked like the cannons were going up across right mid-broadside. It was pretty nifty. And we did, in fact, win a trophy. Our diorama was given the Total Battle Space Dominance trophy for one of the categories. The category that we entered, if we could have entered in pirates if we really felt like it, but we chose to enter into battle because it really was a battle. We were setting up a small section of the Battle of Trafalgar, and so we ended up under battle. And there were 4 categories for battle, and when you stack them all next to each other, you got, it was part of a ship. There was, the bridge and bits of this and that, and this is a little section with an anti-aircraft gun shooting at an aircraft. Little section of the hull. Pretty cool. We only won one of them. And we got the right one because our area, we really did kind of dominate the battle area. And yeah, so pretty cool. They only had the one, and it was a collaboration, so I'm working on that. I'm trying to come up with something. But we will see. But yeah, pretty cool to get a trophy on our first ever BrickCon. We will be stepping up. We were also given a little thing. Don't know how well that's going to focus. It says, "This makes my heart soar." So it's a little heart with wings. And this was just given to us by another attendee who just particularly loved our entry. There were a couple of other ones that they gave it to, but we were given one, and again, that felt pretty amazing and special. Right, let's take a look at all the other builds that were there. I got some good footage. Let's take a look, because I hope I got good footage. Let's find out. Now we wander. Right next to us we have FOB Legorado. You may be familiar with the old West Fort Legorado. This is a generic FOB, which is pretty nifty. We then have the Battle of Clondathu here with blinky lights and everything. Super cool looking. The Bionicle section. For those of you that are into Bionicle, there's a whole section here for that. Then we get to space. A super cool classic space colored set here. That is pretty snazzy. I have no idea what's going on here. Communications outpost. Alright. Another fantastic space station built in largely classic colors with moving bits. Neat stuff there. The Blacktron down here. I'm a huge fan of Blacktron, so that is pretty cool. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's nifty. Luna Gateway. That is a very impressive and very pretty build. Oh! There's your scale. You've got an Enterprise down there. That's big. This is big. Sort of a mech. Very cool. Very cool. Classic space diner. I like that. That is hilarious. More spaceships. Oh, more Blacktron. Love me some Blacktron. Some beautiful ships back there. I like those. Oh, there's an Enterprise space station, some big classic space style sets, a classic space speeder, some very cool looking battle fleets in a small scale, very cool there. What that thing is, Goliath heavy cargo transport, and then we have that massive ship. Very cool. That cockpit ball is really well done. It is ridiculously round looking and impressive. Sneak tank. The Brain Freeze Brigade. I don't like it. The helicopter. The USS Pacionic, Civil War era ironclad, very cool. The USS Vancouver, beautiful work on that for that scale. The curves and the slopes are just amazing. An Iowa-class nuclear submarine with miniature crew. That is pretty nifty. This is a ridiculously cool setup. This is battles throughout history. So we have ancient Greek, Romans versus the Germans, the Mongol desolation of Hungary, conquistadors versus, I assume, the Aztecs. Okay, yep, Japanese Sengoku Jidai era looks like. World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and modern. Just really, really cool. Alright, let's go look at some other crazy stuff. I'm just gonna show it to you. You don't need me to commentate. pretty good.
So cool.
But I had to work out the brick making.
Yeah, that took some.
That structure.
I love the use of the instruments they use on the sides and.
Then we have great wall construction. Which just sends the little soccer balls all the way around. All the way around. Good Lord.
No, not yet. I would like some because I'm quite hungry.
Nothing over. Now on to the competitions that I entered, because I did enter a competition. For new bricks for my brick name tag, Tindarius is the name of my 74 gun ship. I also got Blacktron because it was the brick was black and yellow, and I thought getting a Blacktron one would be pretty cool. We got the official BrickCon 2021, as well as the official recognized AFOL network event BrickCon brick. I got a brick from Crazy Bricks, which is actually raised rather than etched. I don't know if you can see that. And then the one down here, we'll get to where I got that one. I did decide to enter into one of the competitions, because there were a number of games. There was speed build, speed unbuild, blind build, all these various other builds. But the one I decided to join in on, because they had a whole bunch of extra slots, was the Master Builder competition, where everyone is given the same set of parts and told to build to a certain theme. And the first one, if I can find it, in the box here somewhere. There it is. One moment. So for the first round, everyone was given the Year of the Monkey set, which is apparently now worth $100, but they had 75 of them to dole out. We were given this. These are all the parts we had, and we were told to build a dinosaur. Today, build dinosaurs. That was the TBD. And this was my dinosaur. It's the dinosaur with the spiky thumbs. I don't know what that dinosaur is called. And I don't know if it actually looks anything like this, but I had spiky thumbs, so I gave it spiky thumbs. And I was quite pleased with it, actually. And I did, in fact, make it into round 2. Round 2 was a lot more complicated. For getting into round 2, we did get another brick, the Master Builder Top 20, BrickCon 2021. For the second round, we were given considerably more parts. We were given this set and that set. And we were given pretty much the same amount of time. I think we were given 45 minutes. Maybe it was an hour. Don't remember which it was. And we were told to build the concept of destiny, basically. The TBD was Tomorrow Brings Destiny. It was going to be Tomorrow Brings Destruction, and that would have actually been fabulous with explosions and comets and Lord knows what else. It would have been pretty cool. But they decided that was too negative, and so they went Tomorrow Brings Destiny. And we're all sitting there going, how do you build the concept of destiny? Luckily, about 10 minutes in, they said, oh, actually, I got that wrong. It was supposed to be Tomorrow Brings Discovery. And that was a much more reasonable concept, but I was already well into my build. But I was able to work through it. And this was my build. So we have rocket ship, rainbow, and then for the discovery, we have a little person discovering a castle, a little person on a deserted island. I was going to put a boat and maybe try to have some buried treasure, but I forgot. And then the person on the top of a mountain with a flag. So that was my destiny/discovery. And I did make it into the top 5, though apparently we didn't get an extra brick for making the top 5. But then all of the attendees got to vote, and I deservedly did not win. The one that did win was a beautiful gradient where it started in black and white and then morphed into color, and it was cityscapes, and it was really, really pretty. And it definitely deserved the win, in my opinion. And yeah, so that was actually really cool, getting into the top 5 in my first ever master build. I felt pretty fancy. Sergeant Deplorable also made it into the top 20, but he did not make it into the top 5. And yeah, they had giveaways throughout the weekend. Every time they had one of the big meetings, opening meeting, the award ceremony, and then closing meeting, they gave away massive amounts of sets, and I won this one, which the other ones that were being given away in that round were Millennium Falcons, and I already have like 3 or 4 of those, so this one was pretty cool. I don't know what I would ever do with most of the parts, but I'm excited to have a mammoth, because I looked into getting one of those, and they're stupid expensive. So now I have a mammoth. Don't know what I'll do with the rest of it. Parts are parts. Good parts. We will see. Let's take a look at the swag bag. So you get a bag of swag to start with, and then of course I filled it with all the swag that I acquired myself. I did get a couple of shirts. Put on a happy face. A Fright Night shirt, because Fright Nights are cool. And Forever Sorting. So, good t-shirts to add to my collection. They did have a official con build, the Thaumaturgical BrickCon Lego Distiller. And it's this absolutely amazingly cool steampunk build that builds the BrickCon logo. And it actually does rotate, I believe, and pops up and spits out the BrickCon logo, which is just ridiculously cool. There are parts in here I didn't know existed. I haven't built it yet, but I did watch Crewman Rocket start building his, and there were parts in there that, I didn't know were a thing, so that is going to be a really fun build. I will be building that as soon as I'm done with this video, because I wanna. I did get a bunch of brick minis. I got a whole bunch of chess pieces, miniature chess pieces, that I actually don't plan to use for chests. I plan to use them for decorations on builds, and I kind of wish I'd gotten more of certain colors, and I'm sure they are available on the internet, so we will see. Sergeant Deplorable got me an Islander. There was yarn. I have no idea. a kid handed it to us when I was working at Bricks and Wheels. They had a booth selling stuff, and I volunteered to help them out. And somebody handed us yarn that they had hand woven, and I don't know why, but I took it. Okay, there were, in your bag o' swag, you got a bunch of just random parts. And you could either just keep them all if you wanted, but then they also then had two specific times set aside on the schedule for part swap, where you could take the parts that you got and go see if there are people who want them and what they're willing to trade for them, and I got a lot of good parts. A couple of parts I have absolutely no use for, and a bunch that I have a great deal of use for. I did trade for some neat parts, so I was happy with the results of that. Got a bunch of minis, because minis are cool. There were merchants selling minis, so I acquired minis. I am not sure what you are or why you're in my bag. I don't think you're supposed to be in my bag. I have no idea what this is or where this came from. I don't think it's supposed to be in my bag. I think it fell off of someone else's thing. And I know which thing I think it fell off of. Maybe. I don't know. That's weird. Oh, my name tag. This is all the stuff I still had from Brick Cascade. I got a bag of random brick from one particular seller, but I also picked up more Munchkin parts, because the guy who makes Munchkin parts was there again, and I got more silly Munchkin parts from him, which makes me happy. I also got a peanut from him, and the crazy arms, the crazy bricks on the tag. Crazy bricks. Yeah, this is from Crazy Bricks. He makes alternative minifigure arms. Ones that can more properly hold things like guns or weapons. So instead of just always having the same arm configuration, you've got them in kind of a bow holding configuration. I also got goat legs from him. And a top hat that goes on the peanut. Peanut. It's weird. Bricks. Oh, what else did we get? One LED Han Solo. That was just in the swag bag. Everybody got one. I got a fire engine. Again, it was just in the swag bag. That's one of my minis left over. Oh, we all got a little BrickCon brick. Just allows you to build the BrickCon logo, which is pretty nifty. I will be putting that on display somewhere. I got the official BrickCon shirt, because more shirts. More random minis. I got some piratey minis. I got the official BrickCon mini with a BrickCon bottle. Another one of the BrickCon mini. I got two of them. I don't remember why. I think because I won a competition. Meeples! I'm a huge fan of Carcassonne, and Crazy Bricks was selling Lego little mini meeples. Meeples, mini meeples. They are the coolest. They're awesome. And finally, last but not least, I acquired one BrickCon mug. Very nice. BrickCon mug. Very pleased with that. And I think what the rest is in here is hook'em and goulash, stickers, another sticky back magnet name tag. So now I've got a spare should anything go wrong. And yeah, that was BrickCon. It was 3 days. Setup was Friday, and then teardown was Sunday. It was fairly exhausting. I spent most of the time when the general public was in there, I spent helping Bricks and Wheels out. I got drafted. I'm a vendor now. I'm working the Bricks and Wheels table. I don't know how this happened. I'm confused. So I didn't get to engage with the general populace about our builds very much, but Sergeant Deplorable stood in. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Brick Cascade. Sergeant Deplorable and I are both planning to build more ships of the line. I'm planning to build 2 more. He's planning to build 1 more. And hopefully with that level of an engagement, with 6 ships of the line, we will hopefully be able to negotiate for a better table setup for us, a specific setup where we can have the 2 fleets on their own tables that are separated and people can walk in between them and see the 2 lines of ships shooting at each other. So you can really actually get a good look at the details on the ships, because the way they were set up, you really couldn't. They were kind of in each other's way. You were looking down the length of the ship. You couldn't see the sides of the ship. You couldn't really gander as well as we would have liked. So we will see if they will or are amenable to that possibility. And yeah, I don't know if I will travel to far away cons. BrickCon is 2 hours north, but I've got friends who live nearby, so I've got easy access to that. Brick Cascade is down in Portland. Again, I have friends down there I can stay with. And so that's all easy driving distance. I don't know if I'd want to try to fly to Texas or Georgia or Alabama or any of the other big cons that are out there, because I don't want to try to move a big build that far. Maybe I could make some smaller builds, but then it just wouldn't quite seem worthwhile, because the rest of it's all social stuff, and I'm not a social creature. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm definitely looking forward to Brick Cascade. Yeah, stay tuned. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I should do as far as builds. There are some interesting, very interesting stuff that went on at this one. You can see it in the reel, which I will. I sure wish I'd taken more pictures, but I was never good at taking pictures, and so I didn't. But I did get footage. So there you go. Thank you for watching.